Well, thanks for hopping on. I mean, I'm Joe, by
Problem.
the way. It's nice to meet you.
Leslie, it's nice to meet
Cool.
you.
Finally, after
Yeah, I
all this
know,
time,
right? Where are you located?
I'm in Minnesota,
Minnesota.
St.
Cool.
Paul. Yep,
Nice.
I'm from New York. I went to school in Savannah, Georgia, and then lived out in Portland, Oregon for a couple of years, and now I'm here. So, how about
All over
yourself?
the place. Right now I'm in Palm City, Florida. I moved
Oh,
here
nice.
let me say, 2 months ago now.
Sweet.
But I'm from Orlando is where I'm usually, where I'm from. My family's there, and
Mhm.
yeah.
Cool. That's great. I was actually talking to Stian yesterday. I heard
Oh yeah,
yeah, he
we
says say hello to you.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
he's such a cool kid. Like him and
yeah,
his girlfriend, we met I think it's been 2 years now since
that's
that.
crazy.
Yeah,
Wow. That's
yeah, that was a
insane.
lot of fun. We actually met at one of the filming locations for Monster.
Oh, awesome. So cool.
So he
That's
was
great.
taking his pictures, and then after that, we just went to a bar and we all got drunk.
That sounds amazing. That sounds exactly what I want to do. So I guess we can just get started here. I kind of just want to know more about you and kind of, what got you into, locations and
Okay.
just movies, what kind of movies you're into, and just more just really about you because we've been connected on social media for so long. It's like
I
I kind of
know.
want to, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this type of thing is just to meet people finally, face to face because, especially I mean, everyone's got a love for film. I feel like most people, but the whole film tourism thing is kind of a little unique, and it's just like kind of fun to meet all those different people and see what they're
I
into.
want
And
to do like a really big meetup.
yes,
A couple of them already met up in LA, and it
yes, I
happened
saw
to
that.
be like a weekend that I was there, but I think I left the day before, and I was like,
Oh, bummer.
missed them
Yeah,
by like,
my only one was I met up with Ryan from going to the movies. I met up with him
oh, yeah. You know
in
what? You kind of
Chicago.
look like him, which is
That's
funny.
so funny. Yeah, yeah.
Get that?
Yep.
Funny.
But yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
been the only
great.
one I've met up with so far. But everyone
Oh,
else is via Zoom. So, but it's we'll get there sometime. We should all go to like a location or something
that
sometime,
would
and
be awesome.
that'd be cool. But yeah, so just like what kind of got you into it, and what just your story, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're cool,
That's
whatever.
the first question.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, this is pretty
Okay.
pretty lenient for structure wise. Just more of a
Okay.
conversation. So.
Well, basically, for me, it's because I've always wanted to be an actress.
Oh, cool.
So like at 18, I went to like acting school, and I did the whole thing. I got my headshots done and I was ready to go. And then I freaked out. Like I didn't go to auditions as much as I should have. So I kind of started working for Universal Studios instead and became a dancer and kind of put like the acting thing aside. So because like that dream was never fulfilled, I think this kind of like fills that void for me, like that I never really, got to do. So like visiting filming locations, it just kind of came up actually because I was visiting a friend. He lives in like 45 minutes from Orlando where the movie My Girl filmed. I
Yep.
believe that's I can't think of the name of the town right now at top of my head, but I was sitting at his house and he's like, I live like 5 minutes away from where My Girl filmed. And I was like, really? Like, how did I not know that? And I'm from Orlando. So he's like, yeah, you want to go? And I was like, sure. So it was like almost like 7 p.m. So the sun was already down and it was too dark, but we walked around a little bit and I took a couple pictures. And I think it was either him or I came up with the idea of like, why don't I do this more often? Like this would be really cool because I already travel for a living. I'm a flight
Mhm.
attendant
Right.
and not I don't always get to travel while I'm at work. Like sometimes you only have enough time to eat and then go straight to bed. But sometimes like I have a 20-hour layover and I can, try to go out like either Uber or get a rental car. So I think it came from that day, from ever since that night that I went to see My Girl locations. Then I went back again during the day and I did like more pictures and stuff. And at first I was only posting them on Facebook. And
Mhm.
I think a friend of mine was like, hey, that's really cool. Like, why don't you make an Instagram account? And then eventually Instagram came and then YouTube and now
Mhm.
TikTok.
Right,
So,
right.
so it came from that. But
Cool.
I
That's
know that was
awesome.
a really long explanation.
No, that was great. That was perfect. I find it super fascinating. I mean, you're the first person, I've talked to who is a flight attendant who does this type of thing. So it's super. I would love to hear more about that and kind of just,
Oh
I think
yeah,
that's such a good opportunity to go to, places that you never would ever expect, which I'm kind of jealous in that sense. It's like I would love to take
we're
work off and travel,
hiring.
but
I want to become a flight attendant.
exactly, that's true.
Uh,
But yeah,
yeah,
just like more about that and kind of, how do you usually go about that? I mean, you said rental cars and sometimes
right.
Ubering,
So
but
like it depends. Like
okay.
sometimes I take time of my like I take my own time sometimes and get hotels and do that. So like my very first video on YouTube was Stranger Things. So I actually drove myself to Atlanta. It took like 6 hours from Orlando. I only stayed one night. And then the next day I woke up at like 5 in the morning and I tried to do as many locations as I could. And yeah, I think that was the very first location that I did where it's like all day and I had to take myself there. Now when if it's for work, it really depends. Like let's say I have like a 3 day trip and my first layover is in Atlanta, but I only have like 15 hours. So
Mm,
that probably means that I got there at like, let's say 9 p.m. The next day I have to wake up super early, knowing that I have to like fly again that day. Either Uber somewhere. I don't think when I have 15 hours, I don't really have a lot of time to get a rental car. So I usually Uber, which is
mhm.
super expensive now.
Right.
And then just try to go to like to the closest locations to where my hotel is what I usually try to do. That's why like sometimes you only see like one location that comes out of me from
Right.
like one state because I don't have a lot of time sometimes.
Right.
So yes, like being a flight attendant helps you to get to certain locations, but then like you don't have a lot of time. So then I still have to take my own time sometimes and like Denver, I had to fly out there. We went skiing, but then I took the time to stay at one of the hotels. What was it, Stanley
Family.
Hotel,
Oh, so cool.
and did that. So yeah, like sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. LA locations are always easier because they give you at least 20 hours only because you're flying, a long distance and you need more rest time. But then, like, again, that gets a little tricky because usually from LA, you have to do a red eye out of there.
Oh,
So
okay.
then I've been, on a rental car all day, like rushing, trying to get to locations, and then rush back to the hotel, change into my uniform, and then go
Oh
fly.
my gosh.
It's like, it's exhausting.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how I'm doing locations. And then half the time, yeah, I take, time of my own.
That's,
You
I mean, that's a great way to spend your time. I mean, I feel like,
it's a really cool way to travel. And
yeah.
I know that I'm pretty sure you get this like when you're going to these filming locations, you go to places that you would never even think of going
Yeah.
otherwise. If you find yourself in these weird cities and you're like, I didn't like, okay, this is cool.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's a really cool way to travel.
Yeah, it's like I'm glad I live in Minnesota because I probably never ever would have visited. I don't know. It's just not the city that I'm like, oh, I would love to go to Minneapolis or St. Paul. But now that I live here, I can actually go to like, surrounding towns in like Iowa or even like Idaho. And I would never probably ever go to those places in my entire life. But now that I live here, it's easier to drive and, a cheap flight.
I've
So
been
yeah.
in Minneapolis a few times, but I
Okay.
haven't done any locations. Are you have locations out there?
Yeah, there's quite a few, and like the Mighty Ducks trilogy was all out here. Jingle All the Way. You have a couple Purple Rain locations. Most of those were in LA, but
Maybe I lied. I did do Purple Rain. I forgot
Purple
about
Rain. You
like
gotta do, yeah,
like after you've done them, you kind of forget. Like I have
yes,
to like go back in the time and think, wait, what was in this city? What was like it's all a big blur now
for
after.
sure.
Yeah, I did do Purple Rain there. I forgot about that. I've
Okay, cool.
I only got to visit the house and then like where that big venue, what is that venue called?
First Ave.
Yes.
Yep.
That's super cool. And I happened to go like right after he passed away. So
Oh,
it was even
wow.
more touching. Like there was flowers everywhere in the house and at the venue they had like I think his star had just been painted a different color, like gold or
Uh-huh.
something. It was just it was
That's
so
crazy.
yeah.
Wow.
And this guy had just done a mural of him, like a huge mural. And I did a whole video on that one because that was special. And that's the second time that's happened to me. Like right after Robin Williams passed away. Actually, I was there the day he passed away in San Francisco. Like I
Mm.
was sitting at a restaurant and it comes up in the news. And that day we were already planning to go visit the house, I think it was. and I think we changed plans because he passed. And then I was there 2 days after that. Again, I went back 2 days right after, and there was just everywhere. There was flowers
Wow.
everywhere. I've never seen it like that. And then we stopped at the town where he was from.
Mhm.
And this lady in one of the stores, like, I asked her, I was like, hey, have you ever met Robin Williams? She's like, yeah, he came here all the time. So she just basically said, so I'm not telling you where he lives, but he lives like 10 minutes from here, basically.
Mhm.
And I think she gave us kind of the name. And so we found his house too.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it was, like I can still remember that day. Like it was,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
crazy that you don't really anticipate those types of things affecting you, but they really do, especially, I mean, and that's another good, fun thing about these locations and just location hunting in general is like you're at these spots of these movies that you love and you're so passionate about. And it's like there's just that feeling that you get when you're, in the spot. For me, it's like the Michael Myers house,
So
just
many times
being there is it's insane, it's
because you're standing in the same spot where like once,
yes.
someone once stood there, it's, and if you love movies that much, it's just, you understand the feeling. Like
Oh yes.
you're one of the few people to say the same thing.
It's like it's such an indescribable feeling, honestly. Like, wait, sorry, I'm gonna lower my shades. My the light is
You're
blasting.
fine. Man, your apartment looks so cool.
Yeah, thank you. Um, we live in a carriage house, like
Oh,
a
it's a
carriage house.
house.
It's like from the 1800s.
Wow.
This used to be like a stable where the horses were and everything. It's super cool.
Oh, that is cool.
We love it. Yeah, it's awesome. They should do more stuff in here. It's like a beautiful historic. We're right in like near downtown St. Paul, right off the beaten path, but like all we're surrounded by like all these mansions and everything. It's really cool.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just this crazy. Like I always try to tell my girlfriend, I'm like she's not super into it like I am. So I usually go by myself and do a lot of these trips and everything. But it's just like something that you can't project on someone how what the feeling is when you're getting, for I don't know. I lived in Portland. I did all the Goonies and a bunch of that, and it was just
You did
like
already? You did
incredible.
Portland?
Sorry,
You went to Portland?
I
You did.
lived there for 3 years.
Oh, okay. So you did Goonies.
I did Goonies. I did everything I
On
could there.
top of my list. I don't know when I'll get to do that one, but I can't wait.
Oh,
That
it's
one
like
is
such a cool spot. And that's another place, Astoria is like you would probably, I mean, it's a really cool spot, but it's not somewhere that you're gonna like seek out just to go to Oregon just for Astoria. I mean, unless you're going for the Goonies, which makes sense. But
yeah.
and then Stand By Me was out there as well, which is really cool. Yeah, it's been a cool it's been a good time. But do you have any favorite locations that you've been to?
I get this question a lot, and it's hard for me to come
Sure.
up with like.
Yeah.
I think the first one I always say is Dirty Dancing. And
Oh, nice.
I remember as a kid, like watching that movie and wanting to be Baby so bad. Like I just wanted to be her. So like, and because I was a dancer, I think that's why I love that movie so much. But I think that one was really cool just because like as soon as you get there, it looks exactly the same. Like
Oh, that's awesome.
a couple of changes here and there, but and everybody was so welcoming, and that's what you love about a filming location is when there is they have like memorabilia up or something, and
Yes.
you don't feel uncomfortable recording. You know that feeling when you go to someone's private home and you're like, oh,
Yes. It's a
now
little
you're,
strange. Yeah.
yeah. So like when you have that feeling of that welcoming that they want you there, and it's and everybody's there for that reason. It's like so. I think Dirty Dancing was awesome. Texas Chainsaw Massacre just gives me like
Yes.
a whole different vibe. Like it's like and there's like things I regret too when I go to locations. Like man, I should have gone in there.
Yes. Yep.
That my boyfriend like briefly went inside like the mill, like the whole like it's like it used to be an actual mill,
Mhm.
and there's like an opening that you can kind of go, but you have to like kind of like climb up there. And I was
Yeah.
just like, I wasn't wearing jeans, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to go up there. So he went in there briefly, and then he heard something. Like I don't know, he don't even know what it was. So he came back out. But so the video he got from me was so short that I couldn't even
Oh,
use it. I was like, darn.
oh
So
man.
but yeah, Texas Chainsaw, Dirty Dancing. What else? I just can't think them all right now. But
Yeah,
like
it's tough. It's tough.
California, there's so many. Like I
Mhm.
think doing Teen Witch, because it was another film that I
Mhm.
liked as a kid.
Mhm.
And the fact that Thriller also filmed at, that same house, it's like
Yep.
Yeah. There's so many though. Like I have never even counted all my locations. Have you counted all the places
I
you've
have
been?
not. I used to, so when I started, I had a spreadsheet. Like when I very, very first started in the early years, I just had a spreadsheet of locations like where I wanted to go, and I would just kind of highlight them whenever I went to them. But that just got completely destroyed because
I
I've
kind
been
of want to
so
write them down because not so much to know how many locations, but okay, and this is a question I had for you actually.
yeah.
Would you count um different cities or the amount of movies that you've visited?
Ooh,
Because you know what I mean? Because a certain city will have so many movies in one spot. So does that count as several spots or just one?
that's a
So
really good point. I
I
would
guess
probably count movies. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out myself. Kind of like, do I want to travel for, to a certain city and just hit all locations, or do I want to travel for a specific movie and just do all of the locations for that? So that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out now because it's like,
tough too, isn't it?
yeah,
Like
it's tough.
especially in LA, you want to see everything
Yes.
with the traffic and everything. You got to decide, do I want to do one movie or do I want to do several of them? And that way I have more pictures. But because I'm on YouTube, I
Mm.
don't like to put so many movies into one video because then you don't know what to name the video.
Right.
And it's all about like, what catches someone's eye or something. So I always like to do one movie for YouTube, but then I miss out on so many other stuff.
Right. Now, how do you kind of determine which one you want to make into a video? Is it good? I guess just like the amount of locations you have for a specific movie or show or?
It first started with my favorites. So I
Okay.
went to like do Clueless and get to like all the ones I really loved.
Mhm.
But then once I got onto Instagram, then people started following me and then I got a lot of requests like, hey, would you do The Walking Dead or hey, Vampire Diaries or this and that. So then I started to like write down what people wanted. And when I would go to certain locations, I try to do a little bit of both, like my favorites and then also what people wanted to see.
Oh,
And then
cool.
yeah. So
That's
it
awesome.
it became from more like my hobby and now it's like everybody's hobby. Like
Right. Right.
people just, request things and I want people to see, because not everybody gets to, travel and I get that.
Right. Right. Especially
So
now. Yeah.
I just love the comments and people are like, oh my God, thank you so much for posting this. Like,
Mhm.
I'm living through, vicariously through you. And I know that
Yeah.
kind of makes my day when I hear that. So
100%. And like, I mean, thank you for putting those out because like I think one of my favorite things is watching the videos that you guys make. And that's something I would love to do eventually because I work in video production. I'm an editor.
I'm
Um,
horrible at it.
it looks great though. And you
I
don't
mean, I
need to be
try
so
when I
good.
now when I watch what's his name?
Oh, Ryan's.
Yes, I'm just like, oh God, he's so good.
He's very good.
So I'm only using iMovie, so I
Mhm.
need to figure out like I either need to get a different program. I also need more memory on my computer.
Right, right.
Like that. So I'm just using iMovie. So it's with that, it's very limited of what you can
Mhm.
do. Because I see him adding all these like all these cool. I'm like, oh, I wish, but you know, um, it's fun because it's cool to go back and look at your old videos
Yeah, right.
and how much you've grown and stuff. So that's why I like doing the YouTube thing. And then
Yes.
TikTok is just a thing that started during 2020 for me.
Mhm.
I was off work for 6 months and it was like the best 6 months of my life because me and my boyfriend traveled the whole time.
Amazing.
And then TikTok was like more of like an outlet for acting for me. So I started doing like silly movie videos. Like I was like doing actual movie scenes and
Oh, cool.
I dressed up for the whole part. I'll show you videos later.
Wait, amazing.
But then I started that. And then all of a sudden one day I went to Jeepers Creepers location
Mhm.
and I had no idea that filmed in Florida, and I was only about 45 to an hour away from the
Oh,
location
nice.
where it filmed, and I was like, I don't even think I had started a filming location TikTok, but I think I just happened to start a video. I don't even remember how I did it. I just remember recording that day. I I didn't even I don't even think I put a good caption on there. I just quickly did it, posted it, and I kept recording for YouTube. So when I got home, I was like, I opened up TikTok. I'm like, holy crap. Like I went from I think I had like 3,000 followers, and that day I went up to 10,000. Like it was
Whoa.
insane. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like all of a sudden, like not 10,000, I'm sorry, six. I think I wait, what did I get to? I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was 10. I
That's
can't remember
crazy. That would make sense,
right now.
honestly.
I'm at 13, so
Okay.
I hit
Jeez.
pretty. Yeah, but in one night, I went quickly to like I want to say it was 10. It was just
That's
insane.
crazy.
Like I couldn't. I just saw the numbers kept going because people were like, "Wait, is that a real location?" And people were like, "It would be so cool, like if that creeper came out or something." Because the video itself looks so creepy, so people just love the video. So I was like, hmm. I was like, maybe I should start posting my videos on here. So I
Yeah.
started doing that, and nobody had the name filming locations yet. So
Oh,
I
wow.
that, yeah.
That's a great get right there.
Yeah. I mean, it's working out. But it's
Mhm.
consistency on TikTok, and I'm not consistent on it.
Right.
Because all my old locations, I don't have all the full videos still.
Mhm.
So I'm like trying to pull like little videos here and there, but it's a lot when you're at one location and you're trying to do TikTok and YouTube and take pictures and make sure that everything
Right.
goes correct. So I'm like, can I
Whilst
get
trying to like still enjoy the experience of being there.
exactly? It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yep.
And then when you're fighting with a like if you're in a place where it's like really touristy and there's so many
Mhm.
people around,
Oh my
you
gosh.
gotta wait around for people to move and like
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was just in New York City recently, and that, I mean, obviously that's a literally a whole beast in its own. Like, just you could do like a week in Central Park alone. Like, it's crazy.
I'm so mad about New York. Like I could not find the Home Alone. Like when you're in the park,
Mhm.
I guess there's like the I guess what was her name? The bird lady.
Yep, Pigeon Lady.
I didn't find that. I walked and walked. I was like, what is this? Like,
It's kind of near the Plaza Hotel. It's kind of like on that side of the park.
and I was on that side. Like, and I okay, so I have a picture. I'm gonna send it to
Yeah,
you
please do.
that I it looks like that, but when I saw everybody else's picture, I'm like, that's not the same one. So I don't
Gotcha.
have the right one, so I never posted it. Has
Okay.
that happened to you where you don't post something because like
Yep.
you're not sure or you're like, this is definitely the wrong spot?
Oh yeah, I worry about that sometimes because like obviously you want to be right and you want to tell people the right location. And that actually happened to me through with Joker. I did some of the Joker locations and his apartment building. You know how have you seen Joker?
Yes, the new one,
Okay.
right?
Yes, the new one. Yeah. So his apartment building, it's pretty, when you see it, it's pretty, you can tell what it is. It's like, it's his apartment building. It looks just like the movie. But the thing is, there's two right next to each other. There's one right next to the other one. And I didn't know. So I took the picture of the first one. It looks almost identical to the second one that was actually used in the movie. But there was like one or two little things that were a little off about it. And I just posted it. And then someone basically lived in that apartment building and they're like, no, this is the wrong, like it's actually the one next door. And I was like, oh,
Wow.
bummer.
Is it is it by the stairs? Like when you
It's
go up?
right next to the stairs, essentially. So the first one's right next to the stairs, and the second one's right next to that building. So
I was so upset because I went before the movie even came out. So
oh,
I
okay.
hadn't seen a lot of pictures yet. All the pictures I had were the pictures of him on the stairs.
Right.
And actually that one, and I also had the picture of like the mental asylum or
Mhm,
whatever it was. So I
mhm.
had those two pictures to go by. And then I was thinking, man, I'm pretty sure something else filmed, but I didn't have anything to go by. So I didn't take any.
Gotcha.
So it was like right when you go up the stairs to the right.
Yep. So when you go up to the stairs, take a left. And
Or
then you'll see the building, the first building, which is the one I took a photo of, and the one next to it is actually the real building. They look almost identical.
I never made it to the mental place because I had
No, I didn't get there.
I had so many like locations to do in one day. And I'm like,
Mhm.
it's like you have to pick and choose. Like,
Yeah, I was trying to avoid New York and LA for the longest time, but I want to get there. There's so many locations I want to hit in those cities. It's just, making the time to do it.
tricky because unless you like driving like a crazy person, and
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable driving in New York. So
Mhm.
you're basically walking to everything and
Right.
taking a train here and there and trying to figure out which way to go and not get lost. Like you need like
Yeah.
at least a week in New York.
Yeah, you really do. Luckily, I have a lot of friends there, so I can stay with them in different parts, which is nice. But I saw you recently went to the Edward Scissorhands house.
Yeah, that
Ah, how
was
was
so
that?
cool. I even forgot about that.
That was awesome.
I've actually been several times because that's here.
Right, right, right.
And that's about. It took me an hour and 45 minutes or so from my parents' house
Okay,
to
cool.
sister's aunt's house. And I used to live like right by my parents 2 months ago in Orlando. So I was really, I was fairly close. So to get to the house, it's in Carpenter's Run. It's the name of the development.
Okay.
And a lot of people, I'm sure people know by now, but it was, I've heard two things. I've heard it was just built right when the director was looking for places to film. And then I've also heard the rumor that it was built for the movie. So I was like,
Oh.
which one's correct?
Hmm.
But either way, it was brand new. So there was no trees, anything. Nothing was
Wow.
really, yeah, only the houses were built, and um they had painted the houses. I think a few people had already moved in, but for the most part it was empty. So
Wow.
yeah, he had basically a whole like set basically,
Oh my gosh.
work on. So yeah, so I went several times. I went very early on when I first started doing locations, and I was very terrified. Like I walked in and you felt like that, like everybody was watching you and you weren't welcome. Like I could feel some of the neighbors looking at me, and I was like, ah.
Hmm.
So I kind of walked really quickly, took a couple pictures, but I didn't know all the houses. I only knew the main one and the one right next door
Right.
because they look exactly the same. So I went again a second time to get more pictures. And I went a third time to make a video for
Mhm.
YouTube. And I had my friend Andrea with me. She's film, I don't know how to say her Instagram name. She's like really popular. She's got
Oh
the whole
yeah. Yeah,
on.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we made the video together.
Oh, cool.
It was really cool because we had a neighbor come out because he saw us like taking pictures, and he's like, he claimed that he was the last neighbor to be in the neighborhood since it filmed, which now I've learned that that's not true.
Oh.
But anyways, he was super nice. He brought out pictures from like when they filmed. He had pictures of Johnny Depp and
Oh wow.
Ryder and everybody. And I was just like, man, that's so cool. So I was able to put that into my video. And then last year, a couple, Joey and Sharon, bought the house. And
Mhm.
they said it was super hard to get it. I guess several people were trying to buy it. It was like an auction or something.
Oh wow.
So he finally got the house, but he started using the word museum, which kind of hurt him a little bit at first because people are like, "Wait, are you making money off of this?" And he's
Right,
like,
right.
"No, it's just that we're letting people come." They were taking donations, but that was only if you wanted to. It wasn't like you had to. So when I heard about this, because he went viral within a week, like I guess somebody came over from Tampa, like some kind of news station or something came over and interviewed him. The
Mhm.
article went viral and people started just showing up without asking.
Oh,
There's so many people coming around the neighborhood that the neighbors started getting upset.
gotcha.
So I think they started a GoFundMe because I guess they got in trouble with the HOA, and they're trying to make.
Interesting.
Yes,
Okay.
I think right now I think it's better now. I don't know what the situation is, but they were afraid of losing the house,
Oh
unfortunately.
my gosh.
But
Yeah.
hopefully that's not the case. But the neighbors got upset because people were parking
Can
and they're
imagine.
just all over the place.
Ah,
Yeah, as far as the experience was amazing. Like they're
mhm.
so nice. I think this is the first time besides like the Christmas house, the Christmas story house,
Mhm.
where you're allowed in, but this is somebody's home. Like somebody actually,
Right.
this one is more like a, Christmas story house. It's like a museum now. So for them to do that and allow people to come, like, they ask if you want to come to just write them on Instagram and like,
Mhm.
ask for an appointment kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
Just let you walk in, and it's so
That's
nice.
so crazy. I
And
love that.
and the coolest thing is that they bought a lot of things to look like in the movie. Like they got the phone,
Oh, fun.
the phone, and some other
Mhm.
stuff in the kitchen. Some artists. I don't know I don't know how true this is, but supposedly the last owner left a lot of stuff in the attic, and they found an actual piece of the wallpaper from the movie.
Oh, wow.
The owner just kept a lot of stuff, put it in the attic because they didn't care about it, and they
Mhm.
left it up there. So he said they have like it's a very small piece. And then
Mhm.
they found some artists found them and made a whole replica of the wallpaper. So they put it up in the kitchen so it looks almost identical as it did with them.
That's incredible. I would love to go there someday. I got to get
I'm
there
pretty
soon.
sure it's true. I shouldn't have said that that's not true, but it's just like it just seems so unreal that somebody would
Right.
believe. But I guess if you didn't care for the movie or anything,
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like, during production, I mean, obviously it was Tim Burton, so it's going to be a bigger film, but you think of like films like Halloween and this other stuff where, they don't treat the props like, they do nowadays. Cause it's like, the Michael Myers mask, they probably just threw it aside. They didn't think it was going to be this big thing. And now, yeah, it's so fascinating.
but one thing they did get that I can actually confirm was like a lot of the neighbors had like T-shirts that were given out, like for the cast, and they gave, I guess, some to neighbors and stuff.
Oh,
There was a
cool.
lot of autograph things that were given to them, like cardboard cutouts that was like at the premiere. Like, so some of the neighbors
Wow.
came and gave them things, which was really
Wow.
cool.
That's so cool.
So they have it all in display. So when you walk into the house, it's all right
Oh my
there.
gosh.
Yeah. And then not to mention like different artists came and drew them stuff like,
Right.
of Johnny Depp, and oh, so pretty.
That's amazing. I love when people embrace it like that, and it's like, have you heard of the Buffalo Bills house?
Yes.
Oh,
And
I want to go there so
I
bad.
get emails all the time. Do you get the emails?
Yeah, oh
Like,
yeah.
and every time I get an email, I'm like, oh, I wish, but it's like right now I'm trying to like
It's tough.
give
Yeah,
up again. Yeah.
for sure.
And it's the house from the movie,
Correct.
right?
Yep. The basement, I think, was a studio. Like it's like the basement was a studio, but like that whole house, everything is, just how it was in the movie. And they have all these, memorabilia, replicas, and all this other cool stuff, and like an animatronic Hannibal Lecter, and it's amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
it's
funny
amazing.
because he made like a huge Johnny Depp like mannequin too, and he
Oh, cool.
had it. Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
he's standing in the kitchen. It's really cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's it also in a neighborhood with other houses, just like
Yep. Mhm.
oh
It's funny because it's like, I can't remember, Perryopolis, Pennsylvania. And it's funny because it's like not much else was shot there. So that's kind of just like the one thing. It's like I've never been, but I really want to go at some point. I
too.
think I don't know how close it is to Dawn of the Dead, but I'm pretty sure it's, or Night of the Living Dead, I'm sorry. But I don't think there's much in that area filming location wise. But,
Yeah, like I was asking Sharon and Joey, the owners of that
mhm,
house, if they know what it takes to do like a museum type of thing.
mhm.
I'm sure you got to get a bunch of permits and
Yeah,
how that all works. Because same thing with the Christmas Story House, they're in a neighborhood, like
right.
live right across the street and on both sides. But I know with that house, like everybody there is super nice about it. Like they don't care that that house is there. They actually don't. Either the house donates to the neighborhood. I think that's what it is. Like they take some of the proceeds and they give to the
Oh,
community.
awesome.
I
Yeah.
think that's why maybe the neighbors are okay with it.
Right.
Sharon and Joey, I'm like, maybe you guys should like look into that,
Yeah.
get all the neighbors on board, and maybe the other neighbors will open up their houses too. That'd be cool.
That would be
If
so
not,
cool.
they shot in the house across the street. She was like the devil lady.
Oh yeah.
And the other one across from them, it was the house that she knocked on the door. She's like, Avon, call or whatever, she was like
Mhm.
selling her Avon product. So some of the houses were used. Like I don't know how, like at least 5 of them, I think.
Wow. Oh, that would be so cool. It was funny because I saw the photos and like you were saying, it's a brand new development right before the movie. And I was like, how has this looked so different?
I
It's
know.
crazy.
It's kind of sad when you look at
Yeah.
it now. You're like, oh, I wish they could go back to the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no trees planted yet or anything. So they went
Wow.
like, and then all those like, what are it, topiaries? Is that how you say it?
The uh I know what you're talking about.
Something that they cut up like,
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and then the big castle that they built
Mhm.
was like it was in a different city. It's probably like an hour away from where they filmed.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
And so they found the biggest hill that they can find, and they built the castle up there. There's a whole like on YouTube, if you look up Edward Scissorhands filming locations or castle or something, there's a little news article about it or
Mhm.
something, and they were able to shoot like the castle when it was being filmed a little bit, so you can
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
But
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I guess a couple more because I gotta head out pretty soon. But do you have any like bucket list locations or something? Like, I mean, obviously there's probably tons, but like, is there one or two that you really, really want to go to that you have not been to yet?
So I kind of have them all written down,
Hmm.
but like I think like my top three would be Hawaii. I want to go to like Jurassic Park and do all
Yes.
kinds there. You got 51st dates and all that
Mhm.
cool stuff. Definitely Italy. And I
Ooh,
don't really have like specific like locations I want to see. It's always been a dream for me to go to Italy,
mhm.
Italy and Paris. So
Okay.
and I've seen a couple people do locations. So what I do is I save their pictures on
Great
Instagram.
idea.
Yeah, I have an album for every city on my Instagram. And
Amazing.
I think I have pictures of you and like
Mhm.
everybody, just like I just put them in like
Sure.
little plays. And then so yeah, those are my top three. And then in LA, like I see people do the birds. That just looks like you don't even look like you're in the United States. Have you ever seen where the birds film?
Oh, we went there. I actually went there.
Oh, you went? Is that what is it called? Bodega or
It's go to
something?
Bodega Bay.
That just doesn't even look like it's in the
It
United States. It looks like you're in Italy or something. It looks gorgeous out
it's a
there.
beautiful. So when I was in Portland, this was like 3 or 4 years ago. For my birthday weekend, I made like 4 or 5 of my friends fly out. We all flew to Sacramento, just to go to Sonoma County because Scream was shot out there, and then Bodega Bay is not too far from there. So we kind of did the Birds and Scream in one little weekend, and it was amazing. Yeah, it was, and it was all, it's wine country. It's gorgeous. It's. I would highly recommend doing that if you can.
Did you go inside the House of Scream? Are you one of the lucky ones that got in?
No, I didn't get to go, unfortunately. I want to go back, but yes, Stu's house was like obviously my top, but that was like it was before they've done the like onset cinema and just before they've done kind of that whole thing. And because it's a pretty long driveway, so I'll
Yeah,
get back to those.
if I fly into LA for a layover, I couldn't get there. That was like
No,
7 hours.
right.
So I would have to fly into like San Francisco.
You can find a Sacramento,
Okay, I think we
and
should
that's
start.
like it's not really the coast is really not far. I think it was like not even maybe an hour. I'm not entirely sure. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, so
Maybe.
I think those four, and then I really want to go to where the A Quiet Place filmed.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
For some reason, like that bridge,
Hmm.
really want to go on. Really want to go there, and then Canada for like Schitt's Creek, and it.
Hmm.
Gosh, just there's so many. Like I have
Which
so
is
many.
good, good
And
and bad.
like the ones that I feel like it's gonna be like the hardest to get to. So if I ever make it to those locations, I'm like, all right, I can retire now. Yeah. And
Agreed.
then the Goonies, of course, that's been on my top list. But I think that one would be little easier. And then eventually, let me see, I have to pull them out because they're like my favorite. It's one of my favorite comedy of all time because I got to finish my Dumb and Dumber.
Oh yes, those are great.
That all filmed in what was it, Utah?
I believe so.
Like City? Is that right?
I think so. Well, at least some of it was. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot in one spot, and like I think it's all in. I want to say it's all Salt Lake City. Pretty sure.
Okay.
But yeah, so those are like my top 10 right there, at least.
Yeah,
What
I
about?
want to go to Utah for Hereditary.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Hmm. But
What's your other favorites that you wanna?
let's see. I want to go to Camp Crystal Lake really bad. I'm a big horror guy, so
My
yeah.
boyfriend loves scary movies. That's all.
Mhm.
Like, so I've been really lucky with him because he loves films and stuff, so he doesn't mind doing the filming
Oh,
locations.
cool, cool.
The thing with me when I have someone there, it's nice to have someone there to help you record and whatnot. But
Mhm.
then like they start to get a little like antsy and they want
Yes,
to leave.
yes.
Sometimes it's like I just need my own space,
I
But other
agree.
than that, like it's really nice to have someone there when you really need, like if you want to do the comparison shots and you
Hmm.
want to be in the picture, those are really,
Right.
that's really good to have that. But yeah, he loves horror films.
Hmm.
So anything horror related, he's all about it. So we've done Texas Chainsaw together. We did
Hmm.
what's this one? Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Blair Witch.
Oh, yes.
That was really cool.
Amazing. I just did the cemetery, but that recently, but that was the only one I was able to go to. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that was cool. Yeah, we did it. And then of course the Stanley Hotel just to be there. That was
yeah,
really,
100%.
yeah.
There's so many. so many locations. I'm just glad there's other people that are into it because like it's kind of fun to it's just fun to be able to talk about this with someone who like gets it as well because you talk to your friends and everyone's like, oh cool, like
They just like, oh, yeah,
yeah,
whatever.
they're like
It's
great.
I get more, and I'm not trying to like dog my friends out or anything, but
No, yeah.
I get more support from strangers than I get from my own
Mhm.
friends, which is kind of sad, but you
Right,
know,
right.
you know, I'm the kind of person that like I support all my friends and whatever they're doing, and I try to like, put their, try to give them what's the word? Um, what I'm looking for. Like,
I know what you're talking about.
I'm so bad with words. Gosh, that's another thing too. When I'm doing videos,
Yes.
like come up with things, like especially when I'm trying to like describe a building or something that's right. I'm like, oh, what's the word? I'm like, oh, it's bad. It's so bad.
That's why I'm off screen and do editing
Not
instead
blessed.
of being on screen.
I'd rather be giving a script and
Okay, yeah.
I will memorize the script like this. That's why I wanted to be an actress. Like that was my thing.
Yeah.
But like for me to come up with things at the moment, I'm like, oh
It's
god.
tough. I did an acting class in college and a lot of it was improv and it's so hard. I don't know how
Really
people do
hard.
that. It's
And
crazy.
improv, man, like
Oh my
especially the
gosh.
first time you did it, it's so intimidating, especially when you're doing it with someone else and you have to come up with things right then and there. You're like, oh yeah, that
Yes.
was very intimidating.
Hmm.
I wish I would have stuck with it more though. I mean, I did get to be an extra in like a few films and I
Oh,
did
cool.
commercials, but right now Mother's Day on Netflix, if
Hmm.
you ever watched that, it's sort of like a romantic, no, I wouldn't say romantic comedy. It's more like a family film.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
I'm in that movie for like a second. Like
No way.
blink because you'll miss me. Yeah, it's like
Amazing.
a scene where there's this guy who's supposed to be a comedian, and he's doing he's not he does two different like stand up, like I don't know, he does stand up twice.
Mhm.
And the second time he does it, he's holding a baby, and it's in that scene. Like after he gives the baby back, you'll see me like laughing.
Oh, cool. I'll just keep an eye out for that. I'll
Yeah,
watch it
that's
just for that.
Atlanta, and I see that this is when my job is great because I was able to fly to Atlanta just for the day and then fly right back after I was done. But I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was just
Right.
working anywhere. Because
100%.
yeah, so that was really cool. I got to do that, and then I was an extra in what was that movie? It's the acapella movie, the
Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect.
Oh,
I was in the
cool.
second one. Yeah,
Nice.
that one you won't see me because it's like the very last scene where they're like outside and they're supposed to be in a different country actually, and they're actually in New
Yes.
Orleans.
Okay.
It's funny. It was actually from the New Orleans, but we're like in this big festival, and they gave us all like flashlights, and we're like singing along with them.
Oh,
But
cool.
yeah, be able to see them in person too and
Oh, I
doing this
bet.
little thing.
It's
Yeah.
so cool. Yeah, that was one of my favorite things about going to film school in Savannah. It was, our professors would let us, because a lot of films were being shot there and, it's just getting bigger, every year as a film production staple. But yeah, our teachers would let us skip, our film professors would let us skip class to go work, be an extra or kind of just observe the set just to, it was really cool. And I was an extra in the Do-Over on Netflix, the Adam Sandler, David Spade movie. I still have
Oh,
never seen it.
new kind of. That's kind of
It's
new.
somewhat new. Yeah, that was in 20, I want to say it was 15 or
I
14 or 15 maybe.
I
But
don't think I ever got a chance to see that one.
I don't know. I've heard interest. I don't know if I've heard great things about it, but I haven't really seen it. I've only ever seen the scene I'm in because I was like, I'm just gonna skip until
Are
you
you on
can't
screen for a while?
what?
Are you on screen for a while?
No, I'm like I walk behind Adam Sandler. You can see like I wear like a Livestrong bracelet. I used to wear one of those, so you can see it in like I'm walking, and you can just see like it's like my neck down, but it's hilarious.
Oh, you're right behind Adam
It
Sandler.
was really cool.
Have you done studio tours? Those are really cool.
No, I haven't. I want to go. Universal is like my top. I'm a huge Hitchcock fan. Like I want to see the motel. Like I just want, I had so many studio tours I have to do. I just haven't gotten a chance to do them yet.
If you get to do that one, I would recommend the VIP. I mean,
Yeah, I
you
would for sure do
can
that.
on the tram, but like
Mhm.
you don't get to get off and get a picture right in front of the house and all that
Gotcha.
stuff.
Okay.
If you wanted to do that. So
That's
I
good to
recommend,
know.
but it's expensive. So
Yeah, I bet. I'll pay. I mean, worth it to me. So
yeah. Yeah,
But
that one and the WB has been my favorite so
okay,
far.
I've heard great things about
Sure.
both, so
Yeah.
it'd be cool. But all right, well, I should probably take off pretty soon. I gotta drop my dog off at daycare or boarding, I guess, for the week. So, but
Wait,
thank you so much for hopping on.
are you flying somewhere today?
Sorry.
Did you say you were flying somewhere today?
Yeah, I'm going to North Carolina for I'm going to Wilmington actually for my for Thanksgiving. My girlfriend's sister lives there, but I
Nice.
won't have time to do locations, and I'm really bummed because I want to do the Halloween Kills locations, but I don't think I'll have time, unfortunately.
Isn't that annoying when you fly
Yes.
somewhere and you can't do that? That's happened to me a few times where like I'm going somewhere. Like I was just in Salem and I
Oh yeah.
only the ones that I walked past I got to see, but I already seen them. So I was like,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
I wanted to do Booby Halloween.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, you had to take an Uber to where for the
Oh, gotcha.
time, but yeah.
I know. I'm like I know how close I'm gonna be to like the locations. I'm just like I can't look at my phone.
For like an hour
I
maybe.
know. I'm gonna see what I can do. We'll see what I can do. At least I did. I was in Wilmington recently, this past summer, so I did a lot of them when I was there. I did like The Conjuring and War of the Millers and a lot of other stuff. But there's like Halloween Kills obviously is up there for me. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I hope to get to some.
That one, right? Ryan? Didn't he just do Conjuring?
He did. Yes, I think he
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Do you know if the people there are like, are they
I,
welcoming you to?
I've heard. So I went to the house and I was just outside of the house. I didn't go in or anything. Because I've heard different things from different people. I've heard from a couple people that I think a guy, I don't know if it's a couple, but I know at least a guy lives there. He's super open and welcoming and lets people take photos and stuff. But then I've heard, other stories where it's like, oh, he didn't let us come in, blah, blah, blah. So I honestly don't know what to expect. I was gonna just ask Ryan, be like, hey, like, how did you get in? Essentially. So, but yeah, because I want to go back to the house. That's like one of my other ones. I want to go inside actually, and get a bunch of shots from.
That's what I like about having you guys as friends is that
Yes.
I can ask you guys, hey, how was your experience there? What should I do? What should I
Mhm.
expect? And vice versa. People always ask
100%.
questions, and I love that. I like to be able to help out.
Yeah,
Um,
same. Yeah.
the Edward Scissorhands, I had several people right after, hey, what can I do? I'm like, oh my gosh, let me tell you, this is gonna be a piece of cake
Yeah.
compared to anything you ever visited. Yeah, they're so nice.
That's amazing. That was funny because I was actually going to message you about that, but I'm glad we got to cover it on this.
Are so cool. They are so cool. Like as
Awesome.
long as you write them on Instagram, their
Okay.
Instagram is, I think they just changed it to Our Scissorland.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, it was just Scissorland before, and now they put Our, which is really cute.
Gotcha. Cool. I love that. That's awesome.
Have you seen any Ghostbusters before you go?
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it yet?
No,
Yeah,
I want to go.
see it again right after we
Is it
finished.
good?
It was great. I mean, if you're a fan of the first two films,
I like them both.
yeah, then you're definitely going to. I think you'll even cry a little bit. Like there's
Ooh.
so much in there.
I mean, I love the cast, and so I'm can't go wrong with them.
Yeah, they did a fantastic. And I didn't even realize. I mean, I knew, but I had forgotten until yesterday when I was like revisiting articles that it's Jason. That's
The son,
yeah, the son.
Ivan's son, Jason. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, oh my god, I totally forgot. Like,
That's
I guess
probably why it's good.
I mean, that's a lot of pressure too,
Oh my gosh.
live up to, those expectations. But I heard like he was on set every day with him. Just
Wow.
yeah.
Amazing. Oh, I
Yeah,
gotta go see it now. It makes me even want to go even more.
you're gonna love it. It's so
Cool.
good.
I'm excited to see it. But
Well, thank
cool.
you.
Yeah.
And if you ever want to do it again, let me know.
Honestly, yeah. If you ever, I don't know, we have our podcast. If you ever want to review a movie, you're totally welcome to come on and
Oh, cool.
talk
Yeah.
movies. So yeah, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much again. And I'm glad we got to finally meet.
I'm really hoping that we can all meet up. Like I told I think his name is also Ryan. He's the one that's called Movie Ninja.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I was telling him, I was like, I think a really good meetup place would be Atlanta, just because like it would kind of be
Yes.
like in the middle. I just think it'd be really cool to meet up at one of the filming locations and then just have like a big like lunch and then just like take a bunch of pictures
That would
and
be awesome. That would be so cool.
so cool. And I would like love to do like a whole YouTube video of it.
Yes.
Like a
Oh, we should definitely try to plan something soon. That would be so fun.
like sometime like early next year, maybe
Mhm.
summer. Summer's always tough because it's really a busy travel time.
Yes. Right.
But the prices go up. So like it's
Mhm.
always good like before spring break, right after spring break, and like September is really good. October sometimes I
Mhm.
travel.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably the one to go for that. So
Yeah,
that's good to know.
thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks again. Yeah, we'll be in touch over social and can't wait to see more of your stuff.
Yeah, same here. Oh
Yeah.
wait,
Cool.
you have also an app.
Yes, we do. We're working the website now as well, which is might be a little easier and more up to date. We're working on kind of a whole rebrand essentially. It's just been we've been all so busy and yeah. So we're eventually gonna get more features and everything in there. But yeah. So
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like I had someone else's app and I kept forgetting to use it every time I was at a location because
yeah,
I'm
right.
doing things. So
And I
I
know a lot of people like to do the research and everything for themselves, including myself, which is why I did the app in the first place. But it's kind of just for those type of people who if they want to quickly look what's around them and maybe make a list of favorites or where they've been and all that stuff. Just make it a little easier for
and
some
I'm not
people.
too, I'm sorry, I know you have to go, but I'm not
Yeah.
too aware like how your app works because there's another one where you have to put in the locations yourself and like
Oh, interesting.
yeah, like that the one I
Oh.
have, like you create the location that way other people can see it and then you kind of like you could do like a little map. Is yours like a check-in thing where when you get somewhere you check in?
We're gonna eventually do that, but right as of right now, basically you would open up the app and it would just bring you to your current location, and it would just pop up that you see the little logos pop up around where you are, and those are essentially locations. So you could just like tap it and be like, oh, this was where the Myers house is, or
That's
whatever.
cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
just to like, because whenever I'm in a city and like, I want to see what was shot near me, I would usually Google it, and it just takes forever sometimes. So if
So
I just pop up on the app,
yours is like a Google, like more like, instead of having to go on Google and try to figure out where
right?
you,
Like
okay.
I do all the research myself. I have like this whole database of all the addresses, all these photos, and
Well, you
yeah,
know what? I'm gonna start using your app to like on YouTube. Everybody asks me because I don't put addresses up, and people get really
yeah,
upset with me. I'm like, listen, it's more like about most of them are private homes. Like I
yeah,
Google that yourself, and I hate to sound,
mhm,
kind of rude. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna direct them to your app from now on.
yeah. You're totally welcome to. I totally get that though. It's like it is weird with like private property stuff, and that's something like we want to make sure that we're about is like here's the address and the coordinates, but like please respect the
Right.
don't ruin it for people and just don't give us a bad name. But here's the address. Like just we're trusting you with it essentially. So
Like I try to tell people that it's not that I'm lazy and I don't want,
right.
I want people to know where something
Mhm.
is. It's more out of respect. It's already online. I don't think they
Right.
want more videos out there as well, like
Right.
posting their address. So if it's
Yes.
a local business, like I just tell them where it is, like
Mhm.
give them the name or whatever. But
Right.
I
Yeah.
want
Like what
to,
I'll usually do is like if I post something, I'll like, if it's a house or something, I'll post like where it is essentially. And I'll be like, if you want more information, check the app or the website. Like I'm not
okay.
gonna like publicly post it, but it'll be obviously on the app or website that you can see it. But yeah.
All right. I will download it right now
Yeah,
then.
I think that's still a little glitchy. We're still in the first beta phase, but we're getting there. So we're gonna have a whole new refresh, redesign, everything. So in the process of all that.
It's a lot of work, by the way.
It is. It's a really fun passion project. I mean, I once like, I every time I would go to a location, I'm like, this is annoying. I have to like, make my own spreadsheet and figure out all these addresses. But yeah, this is hopefully oh yeah, there it is. Yep.
Oh, I have to put in my password.
And we eventually want like, a trip planner and like, view by city and all this other stuff. Cause right now it's very, very, very basic. But we'll get there eventually. So
Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah.
I wish I had that kind of like mentality. I don't think I could. That's too much.
I know it's fun because like I have all the information. My buddy is the developer, and my other friend's the designer. So it's like it's actually really helps to have friends in that in those fields.
Yeah.
But I designed the first one, which is why it looks terrible.
Oh, cool. And you have like movie posters too.
Yep, everything is ripped from IMDb essentially. Yeah, so we're getting there. We'll see what happens.
Downloading. I don't know why it's taking
Thank
so
you.
long.
No
You're
worries.
welcome. Sorry I didn't. I
Oh
have so
yeah,
much
no
going
worries.
on. I totally forgot. But
No
thank you.
worries.
I really appreciate everything. Why is it not downloading? Look at that. It says waiting.
I don't know. Sometimes Apple phones.
I'm having way too many too many
I
problems.
agree.
You too?
Oh yeah. Hmm. All right. I should probably head out, unfortunately. I wish we could keep talking, but
Oh, me too.
we'll do this again soon. This is fun. This is really fun.
All right. Well, you take care.
Yeah, you as
Thanks
well.
for asking me for doing this. Really
Of
fun.
course. Thanks for having on. I love it. Love meeting new people and talking to people. So
All right. Well, take care.
yeah, you as well. All right. Talk soon. Bye.